should not touch the hairs. That's why we are expected to shave. And then mental cleanliness. Always try to think of pure, clean and good things. This is what is called cleanliness. The second aspect is called tapas, which we have already explained in the Kriya Yoga. Practicing precision of thought, word and deed. The third aspect is always try to maintain a happy disposition and a happy mood. Under any circumstances, try as far as possible to maintain a happy disposition in the heart. It's not only maintaining smile on the face and lips against great suffering or sorrow in the heart. This deals more about the disposition of the heart and not the face or lips. The first thing is called in Sanskrit. The second thing is called tapas. The third thing is called santosh. D. This is explained in Kriya Yoga. The regular study of the scriptures. Next aspect is called total surrender, which is already explained. This is called pranidhana in Sanskrit. These are the aspects in niyama. So, the first step is yama and the second step is niyama. The first step gives regulation of our activities. The second step gives rectification of the vehicles. And he also says, don't have an argument about these aspects with anyone around you. Do not discuss about doing these things with anyone. Do not allow anyone to discuss with you. Either you do if you are convinced, or you stop doing them. But no question of discussing about them. And he gives us a few benefits which we derive by following these aspects. By practicing the first one called harmlessness, you will have enemies. Not only that, your presence removes enmity in the minds of other people. If you go and stay for 15 minutes in a house where there are people who are hostile to one another, who live in the same house but do not speak to each other, who have great complexes about one another in the mind, living under a very high tension. If you spend 15 minutes there and come away, your vibrations will wash off the tensions from their mind until once again they begin to form enmities among themselves. So at least the effect or impact of your visit will be there for 10 days. That is the result of practicing the first one, harmlessness. And by practicing the second one, truthfulness, you will get the following power. Results follow your doings. That is what exactly Patanjali says. Whatever you do will have its best result. No effort will be useless. So whatever good you do whatever thing you program will come true and the result will be realized by you. Because the gap between thought, word and deed will be filled up. When people understand that you sincerely mean what you speak, they begin to follow you and they begin to work for you. Otherwise, if they find that there is a gap between your promises and your procedure, they find a sense of insecurity in you because your procedure is unpredictable and people fear to come nearer to you and closer to your heart. They will be on their own guard and they will respect you. As a result of which, the degree of cooperation you get from people will be less and less. So you will find the miraculous result of following truthfulness. That whatever you do will be followed by its good results. People come to you and flock around you, work for you, and exert great exertion for your program. Because they have grown confidence, they have developed confidence in you. They feel great security and safety in you. This is what Patanjali explains. If thieving instincts are removed from you, then you will have all valuable things with you. Automatically, they come to you. When you stop asking for anything, automatically things come to you. If you stop asking something with a hope that things come to you, you will be in great trouble. That is the law of nature. When you don't want anything for yourself, when people understand it, people place everything valuable in your charge. And you will have all great things and valuable things.
Roads and environment in life.
For the simple reason, you have no inclination to use them for yourself. That's the reason why these spiritualists are more popular and more powerful than the rulers and administrators and officers. Why rulers or persons in high position are dreaded of yogis? For one simple reason, that they do not want anything for themselves. That is the greatest source, greatest secret of power and energy. All others who follow power will have a miserable fall in the ending. Whereas those who do not believe in power will be always powerful. These are universally true. And they are always true and there is no exception to it.